Welcome back, and now the stories in details. NNPCL has once again failed to begin fuel production at the Port Harcourt refinery in Rivers State, despite the refinery failing to commence operations after about 6 postponements as of August 2024. The promises made to Nigerians by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum and NNPC by the refinery have continued to hit brick walls. After the failure of the early August promise, the Chief Financial Officer of the NNPC, Omar Ajia, said the Port Harcourt refinery will commence operations in September 2024. Speaking to journalists in August, Ajia had said petroleum products will be ready for testing before being supplied to the domestic market in September. The NNPC did not give an update about the refinery. Our correspondent contacted the NNPC last week for an update about the refinery, but there was no response. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the oil firm, Olufemi Soneye, did not reply to inquiries sent to him on September 22 and 30th, 2024. However, Mayor Technimont, contractor overseeing the rehabilitation of the refinery, said it would provide details on the project's completion by or before October the 2nd. The contractor conveyed this through a law firm, in response to a letter by a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. In reply to Falana's request, the law firm stated that its client received his letters dated September 17th and 24 regarding the contract with the NNPC and considering the inquiries. It said, "Our client is considering your letters and they intend to get back to you on or before the 2nd of October 2024, the law firm said. Still in Rivers State, police and suspected political thugs dispersed the October 1st protesters in Port Harcourt. The police also stopped media personnel from taking pictures or videos of the incident. The police had earlier urged residents to shun activities that could jeopardize peace in the state during the 64th Independence Day celebration, with the Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, promising adequate security during the celebrations. They're deploying personnel in many strategic places in the city. The protest in Port Harcourt met with stiff opposition from fierce-looking policemen who had arrived at the scene of the protest on time. As protesters were gathering at the popular pleasure park on the busy Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway, the policemen arrived with some youths suspected to be political thugs, chased the protesters out of their meeting point and took over the area. Undaunted, the resolute protesters started regrouping at the Rumola area, but the same officers came and dispersed them. The police mounted heavy security checks on the two locations and other areas suspected to be a new meeting ground for the protesters. Still in Rivers State, police command has denied sealing off the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission in Port Harcourt. Speaking for the Rivers State Police Command, Superintendent of the Police, SP Grace Ringekoko, in a telephone chat with correspondent Samuel Ajonwa of Fish FM, clarified the allegation by some online publications that the office of the RISEC was sealed by the police. She said the police officers seen at the RISEC office were posted to the place on the directive of Commissioner of Police to protect the facility against any attack during the ongoing nationwide protest in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, the 1st October 2024. The police image maker advised people to always verify their facts before publication, and also revealed that there is no iota of truth in the allegation peddled in some social media platforms that the police assaulted and beat up some protesters. This is coming after the RISEC had fixed 5th October 2024 to conduct local government area elections in Rivers State. Experts had decried poor standards of schools across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program, Society Watch, a development expert, Goodluck Edafe, most schools across the country is substandardly operated, and the society cannot afford to risk the Nigerian child.
Put down the futures of our children because somebody wants to do business. Because school today is just business. Somebody who doesn't have work to do, just come up with the idea, okay, let me run a school. And if you should do that, not only in Benue, if you go eat round, even in Niger Delta here, if you say you want to go round, even River City here, if you want to go round, how many schools will stay? So as far as...
Edafe also highlighted the business focus of school operations compared to other trade countries across.
Those who go to the street to sell clothes is their business. Those who go to the river to catch fish is their business. And this ones, hey, what will I do now? Well, let me just use this 2-room or 3-room to do my own school. It's business. It's because it has nothing to do. So we cannot compromise the future of this country, of our states. But where...
Move on to Benue State, where ATN reports that no fewer than 2,416 illegal schools have been discovered operating in the state. The Director General of the Bureau of Education Quality Assurance, Dr. Tena Francis, disclosed this when he led a team to seal off the private schools known as Benedictine Order Academy, located in Niman, Makurdi. Federal government has initiated emergency repairs on the deteriorating 7-kilometer stretch of the Lagos-Sangota-Abeokuta road, a crucial route that has faced significant neglect in recent years. This announcement was made on Wednesday through a statement issued by the Special Advisor of Media and Ministry of Works, Uchenna Orji. In a statement, Orji emphasized the government's commitment to addressing the pressing infrastructure issues affecting commuters. He said, the road had been bad for some time, and the Federal Ministry of Works is bringing relief on the dilapidated sections of the conjunction with the concessionaire. He said, according to him, the repair initiative is a part of a broader strategy under the Operation Free Our Roads program aimed at enhancing the condition of federal roads across the nation. Orji stated, the Federal Ministry of Works, under the watch of His Excellency Senator Engineer Weze David Umahi, is committed to providing relief to motorists and commuters on all federal roads nationwide. He noted that motorists and residents have long expressed frustration over the road's condition, which has led to increased travel times and safety concerns. With these emergency repairs on the way, the government aims to restore smooth transit for the thousands who rely on this vital road daily. Content creators have been urged to apply for support funds to promote their passion. National President of Practitioners of Content Creating, Skit Making and Influencers Guild of Nigeria, PCCSIGN, Michael Mwabufo, said this in Lagos. According to him, the association applied for grants through Bank of Industry and it will be released this month. He said this briefing is to inform that we applied for the federal government grants through the Bank of Okay. Prompter is off. No. The country must also confront the reality of growing apathy, distrust and restiveness amongst its citizens, lamenting that the state of the nation's economy was principally responsible for the situation. Speaking at the low-key 64th National Independence Day celebration held at Lagos Marina yesterday, the governor said he understood the sentiments of frustrations and that many Nigerians felt. He said, quoting him, "The challenges we face seem endless. Insecurity, economic hardship, and distrust in leadership. These are not just statistics or talking points. They are the lived experiences of Lagosians, the heart and soul of our great state. Today I want to speak to your hearts, to remind you of the strength, resilience, and the creativity that define Lagos and its people. We are a state of over 20 million dreams, a melting pot of cultures, talents, and aspirations. When the world looks at Lagos, it sees Nigeria's brightest hope, its most vibrant energy, and that is why, despite the challenges we face as a nation, I stand before you with confidence that together we can build a Lagos and Nigeria that fulfills the dreams of every citizen." Sanwo-Olu, however, added that Nigerians could not afford to lose faith though the journey has been difficult and the paths ahead may seem uncertain. Babajide Sanwo-Olu's counterpart in Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun and others gathered at University of Ibadan to celebrate First Lady Oluremi Tinubu at 64 and actor Lere Paimo at 85 during the 12th Yoruba Youth Summit Leadership. At the summit, speakers condemned the call for military takeover and secession, pledging to uphold Nigeria's unity. They noted that paramilitary or regional system regions for economic and political relevance. At the end of the annual deliberation and cultural entertainment by Shekiri troupe from Delta State, Odua Award plaques were bestowed on individuals who have distinguished themselves in the areas of specialization. Youngest virtual artist in Nigeria, 10-year-old Morenikeji Joshua, presented a framed drawing. Do not forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on our ATN socials and watch us live. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net. And our website, it's atlanticnetwork.tv. Move on to our state now, where Governor Seyi Makinde has called on residents of the state to keep hope alive as Nigeria celebrated its 64th independence anniversary. He noted that his government will continue to take decisions that serve the best interest of the people. The governor said as part of decisions to mitigate the economic challenges facing the people, he had directed an immediate change in the guarantor system for the state's agricultural credit loan for small farmers. According to him, instead of the requirement that allowed only civil servants to guarantee farmers seeking the loan, residents seeking to also access the loan could be granted to community associations, farmers, and artisanal associations. He equally declared a 6-month extension for the State Sustainable Action of Economic Recovery. and the transport scheme, which had seen intra-city and intercity transportation in the state government-owned Omituntun buses subsidized by more than half, noting that he had further directed that a similar subsidy be introduced on trucks for crop transportation across the state. These measures, the governor said, were introduced to reaffirm his government's commitment to making decisions that would serve the best interests for the people amidst the cloudy economic times in the country. Niger State Emergency Management Agency in SEMA has confirmed a report that a boat conveying no fewer than 300 passengers capsized in the river Niger upstream, Jaba Dam, at Bajibo community in Mokwa local government area. It stated that so far about 150 travelers have been rescued, while efforts are still on to rescue the remaining persons. The incident occurred last night at October 1st, 2024 at about 8:30 p.m. The agency, in a statement signed by its Director General Abdullahi Babara, said the boat was sailing from Mundi community with a population of almost 300 passengers. He explained that the travelers were mostly women and children from the Maulid celebration at Bajibo. The DG disclosed that currently Nsema is directing and monitoring search and rescue operations in collaboration with the State Ministry of Transport, Mokwa local government area. Brave local divers and other community volunteers have also been added. However, thanks to the prompt response from the community volunteers, over 150 persons so far have been rescued alive, and the search and rescue operations are still ongoing to locate more survivors, and the general public will be provided with the updates when it comes, the agency added. In Kwara State, Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, the governor, while felicitating President Bola Tinubu and the people of Nigeria on the anniversary of the country, also congratulated the people of Kwara State on the milestone. He said, "I am upbeat with this country and I know it is destined for greatness. Together, we can achieve not just the dreams of our fathers for Nigeria, but surpass it as everyone plays their own roles in their own corners. But we need to know that nation building is a marathon and not an endeavor that requires collective efforts to achieve. I commend the President for his bold reforms and the palliatives to temper its initial fallouts on the people, including the huge efforts to boost food security and critical national infrastructure. This is being complemented at sub-national levels with improved infrastructure development, investments in human capital development, and different economic initiatives and social protection measures designed to improve living conditions of the people. I join Mr. President and other patriots to appeal for patience and support as we navigate this phase. The fruits will be sweeter for all. Happy Independence Day anniversary, dear compatriots." A statement by Chief Press Secretary Rufai Ajakai stated. In Plateau, Governor Caleb Mutfwang yesterday seized the occasion for the nation's independence to grant pardon to 5 prison inmates while calling on citizens to embrace the spirit of peace, unity and compassion despite the challenges confronting the country. The governor announced that the pardon of the 5 inmates in the state broadcast, noting that they had demonstrated significant improvements in their behavior and conduct. Mutfwang urged Nigerians to remain hopeful and steadfast in their resolve to build a united and peaceful nation that would be a source of pride for all, locally and internationally. Fellow citizens, in the exercise of my prerogative of mercy as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and in line with the recommendations of the Plateau State Advisory Council on prerogative of mercy, I have granted pardon to 5 inmates who have served various jail terms and have significantly demonstrated good conduct over the years," he said. On this day, we continue the historic moment when we gained our sovereignty and embarked on a journey towards self-determination and nationhood. This day holds profound significance for every Nigerian as it reminds us of our shared destiny and the resilient spirit that has kept us together through trials and triumphs, he added. In a major breakthrough, troops of the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army and Secretary of the Operation Will Stroke have apprehended 10 suspects, including 8 Boko Haram terrorists and 2 notorious kidnapping informants in Taraba State. A statement released on Tuesday in Jalingo by the Acting Assistant General of Army Public Relations, Captain Olubodunde Oni, said the arrest followed a carefully executed raid on September 29, 2024 at the residence of Tukuru Abdul Karim, a suspected Boko Haram leader in Sunkuni ward of Ado Kola, local government area of the state. The suspects, who reportedly traveled from different parts of the country to join the terror group, confessed to be members of the Boko Haram group. Spokesperson also revealed that Abdul Karim confessed to being involved in Boko Haram activities alongside with his brother, Adamu Abdul Karim, who remains at large, and items recovered from the suspects include 9 mobile phones, identity cards, and illicit substances believed to be marijuana and other hard drugs. In a separate operation conducted on the 30th September 2024, soldiers stationed in Chachanji village, Tukum local government area, arrested 2 women, Patience Avado Tersu and Joy Nguemo Emmanuel, believed to be wife and sister to a notorious kidnapper, Anyugu, were allegedly providing key information to a criminal syndicate. The commander of the 6th Brigade, Brigadier Chidebere Owa, praised the professionalism and swift action of troops, which he said had foiled a terror plot and safeguarded the lives of civilians in the state. In Sokoto, Dr. Ahmed Aliyu, the governor, has called on collective action and said it was the only plausible panacea to banditry and other forms of security challenges facing the country and Nigeria in general. He continually emphasized that handing information to security agencies instead of bandits is the best way to help the country and the nation to grow and curb banditry as the nation hits 64. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Abubakar Bawa, marking Nigeria's 64th independence celebration, the governor stressed the need for people to complement the efforts of the federal and state governments in protecting the lives and property of citizens. A formal DDRO program needs to accompany any peace arrangements similar to being implemented for surrendering in the country in the northeast. Many of the bandits are young pastorals without formal education. To leave the bush, they will need incentives in the form of training and support. Nigeria must adopt a whole-of-government approach with an emphasis on military strategy that is holistic rather than piecemeal. In the immediate term, to establish peace, the government must first gain legitimacy by protecting the people. The government has drafted a national livestock transformation plan that aims to curb movement of cattle by encouraging pastoralists to switch to sedimentary livestock production, more mechanization, and less transhumance. It's a start, but it is yet to implement and financial, technical, and political challenges. President Bola Tinubu yesterday led other top government officials and foreign diplomats, including Vice President Kashim Shettima and President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to mark Nigeria's 6th Independence Day celebration at the forecourt of the State House in Abuja. This year's event themed reflecting on the past, inspiring the future, marked in a low-key commenced with the president, who was the guest of honor, accompanied by his wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Tinubu was received at about 10:03 a.m. by military bagpipers, who ushered him into the arena after an inspection of the quarter guard mounted by the troops of the Brigade of Guards. Thereafter, the president proceeded to Salutin Diaz, where he took the national salute as special guest of honor to signify the proper commencement of the event. The 64th anniversary witnessed the presidential change of guards, which paved the way for the Nigerian Armed Forces color patrol and displays to symbolize Nigeria's national and military pride. The segment was followed by Guards of Brigade Silent Drill Platoon, which wowed guests and other spectators, including ministers, presidential aides, as well as members of the diplomatic corps, who had thronged the venue to witness the festivities. Guests at the venue also treated to a variety of unique performances by a combined mass band, and displays were put by a cultural troupe drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones to depict the country's cultural diversity. Tinubu thereafter proceeded to cut the anniversary cake as well as to release the anniversary pigeons to symbolize peace. Other dignitaries at the ceremony were Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas Tajuddin, Chief Justice of the Federation, Justice Kudirat Kekereeko, former Vice President Namadi Sambu, members of the Federal Executive Council, National Assembly members, and members of the Diplomatic Corps, amongst others. Also present were the Chief of Defense Staff, Head of Security Agencies, Head of National Intelligence Agency, Director General of the Directorate of State Services, and the Inspector General of Police. The event was the second Independence Day anniversary celebration under President Tinubu since he assumed office in May 29, 2023. Across Nigeria, governors also marked the nation's 64th independence anniversary with accompanying messages peculiar to their states and country. On to Abuja, the police fired canisters of tear gas at hundreds of protesters participating in the Fearless in October demonstration against poverty and bad governance. The first crackdown, which occurred in Jabi, Utako areas of the FCT, forced residents to scamper for safety. Eyewitness reported seeing protesters injured during the police crackdown, but organizers have not released an official casualty count. Demonstrators carried banners and placards with such inscriptions as "We are hungry" and "Enough is enough, revolution now." Before they were dispersed, one of the protesters was heard saying the Nigerian government seeks to suppress, repress, and oppress the Nigerian people to the point where they become too afraid to express their fundamental rights. However, we are showing the government through our actions here that our voices can never be silenced. The government should not expect us to remain quiet in the face of poverty and insecurity. He further went on to lament about the cost of food products and fuel in the country and saying enough to those. Protesters started gathering at Utako Market in Abuja as early as 7 a.m. for the protest, but police dispersed them at about 8:54 a.m. in like manner. Security forces sealed off Eagle Square, a popular national venue, and dispersed demonstrators, escalating tensions between protesters and the government in the nation's capital. The crackdown involving police and military personnel blocked access to the square, a strategic location near the National Assembly and presidential villa that symbolizes Nigeria's seat of power. Even though it was not used for Independence Day celebrations, the government's decision to seal off Eagle Square has raised concerns amongst protesters about their freedom of assembly and expression. Security agents were patrolling Abuja searching for protesters as of press time. Eagle Square's significance in its role as the venue for presidential inaugurations, celebrations, and historic gatherings. Security operatives on Tuesday sealed off Eagle Square as being said reverential venue and dispersed the protesters of the Fearless in October demonstrators, attempting to escalate tensions in the nation's capital in Abuja. The crackdown, as said earlier, involved police and military personnel who blocked access to the Eagle Square, including strategic locations near the National Assembly and the presidential villa that symbolizes Nigeria's seat of power.
Tuesday's protest aimed to highlight Nigeria's economic crisis, with demonstrators demanding an end to poverty, hardship, and poor governance. The government's decision to seal off Eagle Square, despite it not being used for Independence Day celebrations, raised concerns among protesters about their freedom of assembly and expression. Eagle Square's significant role as the venue for presidential inaugurations, independence celebrations, and historic gatherings.
They have started shooting us tear gas. They are trying to disperse us. Don't move, comrades, don't move. Don't move, comrades, don't move. What's happening?
Rob, my bag. Bag, come, open this my bag. Rob, my bag. No, Rob for eye.
Look at them.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu inspected guard of honor at the forecourt of the presidential villa as part of the activities to commemorate the Federal Government's Republic of Nigeria's 64th Independence Anniversary celebrations. This marks Tinubu's second Independence Day as president, unlike previous years where celebrations were held at Eagle Square. The current administrations opted to host the event within the villa. This shift was first announced in October 2023 by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, who explained that the low-key observance was due to the nation's challenging economic situation.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, shortly the inspection will be over and the parade commander will seek permission from the special guest of
officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute while the national anthem is played.
Rotimi Adewoye, ACN News, Abuja.
You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after the short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NPCL) has allocated a total of 48.6 million barrels of crude oil to Dangote Petroleum Refinery in the past 10 months. Investigations reveal that details of the deliveries contained in official data on the transaction cited by reporters showed that 3.4 million barrels were supplied in December 2023, while 3.5 million barrels were supplied on February 2024. The details further showed that 3.3 MD and other figures were supplied in the refinery on March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, respectively. The transaction has already recorded a total of 11.7 MB for October 2024 deliveries. However, sources close to Dangote Refinery said the volume supplied remains low when compared to the installed refining capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. The NNPCL has not yet disclosed the crude oil requirements of Nigeria's refineries, including Dangote Refinery, in the last quarter of 2024. But in the second quarter of 2024, the government posed the requirements of all Nigerian refineries, including Dangote Refinery, at 597,700,000 barrels per day, indicating an increase of 114,700 barrels per day, from 483,000 barrels per day in the first quarter of the year. The second quarter of 2024 estimate also indicates that NNPCL may have booked the crude oil needs for Dangote Refinery at less than 50% of the installed production capacity. Volume of premium motor spirit, also called petrol, fell year-on-year by 12.6% to 20.29 billion litres in 2023 from 23 billion litres in 2022. The MBS disclosed this yesterday in its petroleum products distribution statistics for 2023, noting that PMS trucks also dropped by 16.9% year-on-year to 20.22 billion litres from 24.35 billion litres in 2022. According to the Bureau, the volume of automotive gas oil, AGO, also known as diesel, imported rose to 4.94 billion litres in 2023 from 3.99 billion litres in 2024. The statistics showed that 109.39 million litres of AGO were locally produced in 2023, representing a 6.76% rise from 102.47 million litres produced in 2022. Similarly, the volume of household kerosene locally produced grew by 56% year-on-year to 69.7 million litres in 2023 from 44.68 million litres in 2024. Higher 1 million litres of HHK were locally produced in 2023 compared to 44.68 million litres in 2022, indicating a total of 56% growth over the period. 109 million litres were locally produced in 2023, which was higher as compared to the 102.47 million litres reported in 2022. This represents 6.76% growth in terms of products in 20.30 billion litres of PMS that were imported in 2023 relative to 23 billion in 2022, showing a decrease of 13%. Also, 4.94 billion litres of automotive gas oil were imported in 2023, indicating 23.6% increase compared to 4 billion litres in the previous year. Some protesters against bad governance had a raw deal in the hands of the army, police and other security agencies, and even political talks yesterday in Rivers State, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, in Abuja, as the protesters actualized their vow for going ahead with the October 1st action, with various themes such as Fearless in October and National Day of Survival. The tough-talking security agents, especially the police, kept their part of ensuring law and order and took steps to abort or crush the protests. The outcome was a crackdown on protesters, of which 5 leaders were arrested in Kano. They were also tear-gassed and chased about in Abuja and Port Harcourt. However, there were peaceful protests in parts of Lagos, Ibadan and Ondo, with the organizers and collaborating civil society organizations, CSOs, vowing to sustain the struggle against bad governance in the country. The October 1st protest is a continuation of the End Bad Governance protest held between August 1st and 10th in response to the economic hardship experienced by many Nigerians. The End Bad Governance protests were met with resistance from security operatives, setting the stage for yesterday's confrontation. In a different story, NNPC, which is in charge of all government refineries, has given Nigerians different dates, assuring them that the refinery of Port Harcourt refineries and others would begin in the sale of refined products soon. In July, the group chief executive officer of the NNPCL, Mele Kyari, stated categorically that the refinery would come into operation in early August. Kyari also said in 2019 that the NNPC would deliver all the country's 4 refineries before the end of the former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. While appearing before the Senate in July, Kyari confirmed and boasted, saying, "I can confirm to you, Mr. Chairman, that by the end of this year, this country will be a net exporter of petroleum products." Specific to NNPC refineries, we have spoken to a number of other committees, and it is impossible to have the Kaduna refinery come into operation before December. It will get to December, both Warri and Kaduna, but that of Port Harcourt will commence production early of August this year. However, the promise from Mele Kyari has not been fulfilled in August, which was the 6th postponement, though the NNPC said it was on course. The refinery was yet to commence operations. The 210,000 barrels per day refinery was said to have reached what the NNPC called mechanical completion of rehabilitation work in December. Late in January, Kyari said the refinery was being tested and would be ready by the end of January. During the second month of the year, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited completed the supply of 475 barrels of crude oil to the facility, raising the expectations of marketers that production was yet to commence. In Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo has assured the people that a greater future awaited Nigeria. Speaking at a parade ceremony to celebrate the independence anniversary held at Dr. Alex Ekome Square, Akwa, Soludo said, "We've gathered yet again this year to celebrate Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. Despite our challenges and triumphs, we made progress. Challenges are many, but amidst all, my message is that our tomorrow will be greater than our today. I see hope, I see prosperity, I see joy. We are here to remember the dreams of our founding fathers and the leaders that flew the flag of our independence. We remember all the victims at this hour and all those who suffered in one way or another, poverty, malnutrition, the sick that we could not provide with adequate hospital care, and so on and so forth." The governor revealed that to build the dream of Nigeria, all Nigerians need to come together so that the nation could be blessed with peace and plenty. Federal government is expanding its subsidized rice program to alleviate food insecurity in Nigeria, with sales set to launch in Lagos, Kano, and Borno State. The director of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security stated on Monday, earlier in September, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, announced the launch of 40,000 naira per 50 kilogram subsidized rice in Abuja, stating that the initiative was part of a broader strategy to ensure that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry. The subsidized rice program aims to provide relief to citizens amidst soaring market prices. The current market price of a 50 kg bag of rice is about 90,000 naira, close to 100,000 naira in some other locations. The federal government providing 30,000 metric tons of rice through the subsidized rice program. He said, "As I speak to you now, we are going to activate Lagos and Kano states for the sales any moment from now. Borno State is going to be addressed." The agricultural minister official spoke to our correspondents in confidence due to lack of authorization to speak on the matter. Reacting to the recent claims that the rice sales in the Federal Capital Territory has been halted, the official said, "We have not even gone anywhere. How can we stop? The sales are ongoing and we are actively engaging with other states." Another official at the ministry said civil servants in Abuja, particularly around federal ministries, have been benefiting from the sales of the subsidized rice. The official, however, stated that they had challenges with coordination and public cooperation at the National Agricultural Insurance Corporation Center where the rice was being sold. The expansion is part of the government's ongoing efforts to tackle food scarcity and support vulnerable populations nationwide. Individuals blocked entry and refused to follow in the process. Despite these challenges, the official remained optimistic about the program's impact, stating, "We are focused on ensuring that low-income earners, who are the direct beneficiaries, can access the vital resource. Nigerians have been grappling with increased hunger as food prices have skyrocketed, compounded by the Naira's declining strength, which affects citizens' purchasing power." According to the NBS, the food inflation rate in August 2024 was 37.52% year-on-year, up 8% points from August 2023 rates of 29.34%. Additionally, FMDQ Security Exchange Limited reported on September 27 that NAFEM close rate was 1,540 naira per dollar, while some sold for over 1,700 in some black markets in Abuja. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, speaking at a press conference in Abuja to mark the country's 60th Independence Day, declared that the era of importation must end, positioning this shift as a cornerstone of government's economic recovery plan. NNPC's chief And this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. I'm King David Obasi, thanking you so far for staying with us. Continue with us on our socials: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Atlantic TV Network 1, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Atlantic TV/net, or just live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are always a part of progress. Thank you for watching.